This Jocks 94.5 podcast is brought to you by Millennium Satellite and Video. Log on to msbnow.com. TV excellence everywhere. That's Millennium. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning starts now.
McElroy Cubelic in the morning on Jocks 94.5. Hope everyone's Friday is off to a terrific start. I know ours is. We are up here in North Carolina, but enjoying talking some college football with you. Always appreciate the involvement, the reaction we've gone through here in the first hour. ESPN.com's top 10 coaches. If you missed any of that, you can always check out the podcast. Download it anywhere you get your podcast. We'll revisit the top 10 here in a moment. Before we do, I'm going to tell you about who's number one when it comes to your foundation repair. That's Canty. They could fix it. I know that for sure. We know in the great state of Alabama, we have a lot of clay in the soil. It expands and contracts, and that can be really problematic for your basement, for your crawl space, for any concrete solutions that you have around your home. So if you're noticing cracks in your driveway or in your sidewalks, maybe you're noticing uneven or sinking slabs around your home, Canty can fix it, and they can save you the cost of a full replacement. They have this poly-level solution that can restore appearance and value. It also restores safety, and it does so without the mess of a full demolition reconstruction. Canty can fix it. So if you're noticing some of these issues, call them today. They offer free inspections and estimates, and their work is backed by lifetime transferable warranty. So call them at 205-509-3991, or go online at Canty, Cantey, canfixit.com. That's Canty, canfixit.com. All right, at number one, it was Curt Cignetti. None of us had an issue with that. Kirby Smart at 2, Ryan Day at 3 at Ohio State, Marcus Freeman at 4 at Notre Dame. Everybody is in agreement that the top 4 are the top 4. No one has any problems with that whatsoever. At number 5, it was Dan Lanning. Number 6, it was Steve Sarkisian. 7, Lane Kiffin. 8, Mike Elko. 9, Kyle Whittingham. And then in a tie for 10th, it's Mario Cristobal and Kalen DeBoer. Let's start first with Mario Cristobal. I think he would not have been anywhere near this conversation last year, but you lead Miami to 13 wins last year. You lead them to a brink of a national championship win. You have one drive away from winning a title, putting together an unbelievably talented roster, having a team that plays with an edge. I think for most of us, I've always been a believer in Cristobal. I think his teams are tough. They're hard to play against. But I think he earned a lot of respect last year with how he evolved and how that team played in the trenches and how they won games in the trenches. So, guys, are we good with Mario Cristobal being a top 10 guy now with what he was accomplished last year?
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely. Honestly, he should be higher.
Yes.
I mean, Lane and Whittingham probably shouldn't be on this list, and Cristobal should be taking one of their places. He should be in the bottom half of the top 10, but definitely he's warranted inclusion, but definitely should be higher.
I would agree. I think if you look at just all-time accomplishments, man, like it's hard to get a team to play that physical the way they played down the stretch in today's era. Like they just flat out beat people up. That is rare in today's era. So I think he's absolutely top 10. I have no problems with it. We'll get back to Whittingham for a moment. We didn't really put much of a bow on that. We were up against it. I just top 9 is too high. If we're going over the course of a career, then why isn't Dabo Swinney in the top 10? Like why isn't some of these other guys that are left off? Why is Matt Campbell not up there? You look at guys that have done things really well for Willie Fritz at Houston. These guys have done things really well for a really long time. So like career achievement's amazing. I think Kyle Whittingham's a phenomenal coach. I just don't know if he's top 10. And we'll see what he does at Michigan. It's a little different animal now. But if you look at what was going on, he went 10-2 last year. It was a great year. That was a really, really good year for Utah. I have a ton of respect for what they accomplished. But they lost 4 games or more in the 4 years prior. They had a 5-7 just a couple years ago. So in the modern era, man, I don't know. I'm not sure I can quite have him in the top 10. While I totally respect him, top 10 is thin air. I can't get on board with that. But here's where I have maybe the biggest issue with the entire list. And it's not because of where I went to school. It really isn't. I'm telling you it isn't. Kalen DeBoer is universally respected amongst his peers. Like, universally respected amongst his peers. The coaches are all like, he is a dude. And when your peers will tell you, all right, this guy's big time, that should probably elevate, if nothing else, that should elevate the perception of you in the court of public opinion. The thing that's amazing to me about Kalen DeBoer is that all anybody ever wants to do is cut down. Like, and while I understand that, it's Alabama, it has high expectations, I cannot express enough how relatively empty the cupboard was when Kalen DeBoer walked in the door. Like, relative to the previous 10 years of Alabama football rosters, the amount of talent that was on the roster and or in the portal when he walked in the door to become the Alabama Crimson Tide head coach was amazingly different than what 247's composite team rankings would tell you. I'm just telling you guys. Like, the last couple years of Coach Saban's tenure on the recruiting trail, I don't care what they were ranked according to the publications. I don't care what they were ranked in the publications. They weren't very good. Look at the draft picks. Yeah, there have been a few, but there's not 7 first-rounders like there were 6-7 years ago. Nowhere near it. Like, not every single starter in the top 22 are going to be playing for 10 years plus on Sundays, barring an injury or something unforeseen. Like, the roster was not the same. So let's just go back first and evaluate Kalen DeBoer's historic run as a head coach in college football. He's been a head coach for 11 seasons. He's 124-20. That is an 86% winning percentage. He's never had a losing season at any level, anywhere. Very few people in college football coaching can tell you that they've won national championships first and foremost. You could tell me the level. I could care less. Winning a national championship at the NAIA level, D3, D2, they're hard to win. And it's not like Sioux Falls had some remarkable advantage over every other team in NAIA. They didn't. They won it with coaching acumen. Okay? So the fact that he's won 86% of his games is absurd. That's higher than just about anybody that sits in front of him. That's significantly higher than Mario Cristobal's at 55%, Kyle Whittingham's at 67%, Mike Elko's at 68%, Lane Kiffin is at 68%, Steve Sarkisian at 63%, Dan Lanning, who's at 86%, but stepped into a really good situation for the entirety of his tenure as a head coach. So slightly different situation there. Marcus Freeman is lower than Kalen DeBoer. Ryan Day is higher than Kalen DeBoer, but like Lanning, stepped into a great situation. And Kurt Cignetti, who has been incredible, Kirby Smart, been incredible, but lower winning percentage, Kirby Smart does, than Kalen DeBoer. So, look at the winning percentage over the course of time. 3 NAIA titles. He went 67-3 in that run. He went 14-1 at Washington, ended 1 game short, lost to Michigan in the national championship game. In the process, he is undefeated against Dan Lanning, who came in at number 5. By the way, in both those games against Dan Lanning, he was a proverbial underdog. As an underdog, Kalen DeBoer is 10-5, which is absurd as an underdog. Absolutely absurd. And reminder, when he got to Washington, he didn't step into a great situation. The year before he arrived, he went 4-8. That team went 4-8. 4-8. What was the record for the Oregon Ducks when Dan Lanning walked in the door? What was the record for the Georgia Bulldogs when Kirby Smart walked in the door? What was the record for the Ohio State Buckeyes when Ryan Day walked in the door? What was the record for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish when Marcus Freeman walked in the door? Like, the records were all very, very good, right? Going into Washington and having an immediate 7-win improvement is pretty remarkable. Now you would say, well, what's he done at Alabama? The records before he arrived at Alabama were off the charts. Yeah, I would agree with that. Slightly different personnel that Kalen DeBoer took the field with than what Nick Saban took the field with. There was no Caleb Downs on the field for Kalen DeBoer. There were a bunch of really high-level players that entered the portal when Coach Saban left. Julian Sayin entered the portal. Several others entered the portal. He stepped into a relatively bare cupboard and has done an amazingly good job. People say, well, come on, what do you mean? Well, answer me this. If you look at his performances, he is the first coach to ever win a college football playoff game on the road after erasing a 17-0 hole to beat Oklahoma last year. He has done an amazing job in one-score contests. You know what one-score contests are? When there's one score in either direction. One score in either direction. He's 30-9. Coaches who consistently win games that come down to the final possession are, in most cases, out-coaching the opposition. He knows how to get to the finish line with more points than the team he's playing against. Yes, would you love for him to win games by 40? Awesome. Cool. I just want him to win games. And he's done that at a pretty remarkable clip. And for all of you that say, well, the Indiana game. You go watch that game one more time. Go watch that game one more time. Because the way I remember that game, yes, I thought they had way too cute of a call on 4th and 1. It got stuffed. They, at the time, were down 3-0 when that 4th and 1 got stuffed. They went right down the field, scored a touchdown, made it 10-0, right? Tough sledding. It happens. Bad call, bad moment, poor execution. It got sideways on them right there. Then they're driving at the end of half. They have the ball. Remember, end of half. They have the ball. They're in plus territory. Ty Simpson gets hit. Ball pops out. They get the ball. They go down, put together a 2-minute drive and score with just seconds remaining in the second quarter to break it open at 17-0. They were at least competitive for a quarter and a half. And for the record, the number 5 coach in college football got run out of the gym a little earlier than that, including a pick 6 on the game's very first play. Other coaches that played Indiana, it was not super competitive last year. It wasn't. They worked a lot of folks. Ohio State played really well against Indiana in the Big Ten championship game. But if you look at what Indiana was in the Big Ten championship game compared to what they were in the playoff, they were operating at a different clip in the playoff. You just watch that improvement. No one I've seen in my time covering the sport improved more from their last regular season game in the conference title to their first playoff performance. That was the biggest improvement I've seen from any team in my 12, 13 years doing this. They were a totally different team. And you could say, well, Ohio State in 24. No, Ohio State was always what they were. They just didn't play that way until they got to the playoff. Indiana grew by leaps and bounds. So tremendous credit to them for that, for sure. But everyone wants to point to that. I get it. I understand it. The Oklahoma game the year before, awful. But guess what? The quarterback was a complete roller coaster. It was impossible. It was an impossible outcome. And they got run, absolutely run with multiple turnovers in the game. Same thing happened in the Oklahoma game the following year. Didn't play well. Turned it over a couple times. Lost the game by 2 points at home. Not great. Bad performance, right? Well, they erased and rectified that win a few weeks later in Norman on Oklahoma's home turf. And the last thing I'd say, too, here's the other thing that I think is really, really amazing. If you look at all the things, the results, you could say, well, not great. The Michigan game and the ReliaQuest Bowl, the SEC championship game. It's very easy to pick out the low points of Kalen DeBoer's tenure. We can all do it. You would say Vanderbilt, the defensive performance, the 2 losses against Oklahoma, the performance against Indiana, the performance against Michigan. All those are completely fair. What nobody wants to remember are all the great moments, like when he beat Georgia not once, but twice in the regular season by going with Ty Simpson and company to Athens and getting a win on the road and ending what was the longest home win streak in the country. No one wants to remember that. No one wants to remember the performance against LSU. No one wants to remember that they just completely blew the doors off them in Baton Rouge at night against against Brian Kelly the year before. No one wants to remember that. If you love Kalen DeBoer, you'll acknowledge that guy with the team that was ranked in the 20s of S&P Plus last year, that guy won games on his own, almost single-handedly, with an injured quarterback for a third of the season, and non-existent run game with an offensive line that couldn't block anybody or move anybody off the line of scrimmage, and a defense that always seemed to step up and make a play. I think Kalen DeBoer is remarkably over-scrutinized because of who he replaced, where he went, and how it's gone so far. That's my standing on a soapbox speech on behalf of Kalen DeBoer. The guy's still, in my opinion, a top 5 coach. I don't care what the Indiana game says. Ask his peers what they think about him. The guy's big time. So we'll start with you, Damian. Where do you stand on the Kalen DeBoer ranking right now?
Oh, it's entirely too low. Entirely. You can't tell me that Steve Sarkisian is a better coach than him when Kalen DeBoer, he doesn't know what it's like to beat Kalen DeBoer. The same with Dan Lanning. Dan Lanning, yeah, he's more viral, he's more rah-rah, but when it comes down to it, like you said, he was the favorite going into a matchup against Kalen DeBoer, and Kalen DeBoer, handled business. He's 2-1 against Kirby Smart, who is the number 2 coach on the list. And yeah, you could say the SEC championship got the best of him. It happens, but he took his team into Athens, knocked them off. He was like you said, the first coach to go on the road in a playoff game and win in spite. I look at Kalen DeBoer, especially with last season, with all the inconsistencies. He's a winner. He's always won everywhere he's been, and he can find ways to get it done in spite of. People can say, oh, well, they couldn't run the ball, and yet they still go out there and win a college football playoff game on a team that beat them in the regular season. He still finds other ways to overcome and has success. Yes, the losses, they are fair. They are part of the resume as well. But let's not just gloss over the wins that he has on his resume. The Washington Huskies went to the national championship. Lost to a better team in Michigan. It happens. But they were competitive throughout the matchup. A turnover, boom, back-breaking turnover, and that game gets flipped over. But everywhere he's been, he's won, and he's won at places like Fresno State, like Sioux Falls, like Washington. It's not like his path has been different. But yes, because it didn't matter who was stepping in after Nick Saban, the target was going to be on your back. You were going to be under a magnifying glass unlike any other. But yet he still found ways to win football games. I think I'm with you. I think Kalen DeBoer is scrutinized to a level that a lot of coaches, fair or unfair, shouldn't be. But he's done nothing but prove that he's a winner when it comes down to it.
Say, Bear?
While I don't disagree with everything that's been said, if we're looking at where the coaches are right now, heading into the season, while I think he's low, I do think there are several coaches that we've mentioned before that should be ahead of him. While his peers may value him highly, and while his peers, and while in the past he may have done some amazing things at Alabama, he's been very good. But other coaches above him have been great. And right now, he's a very good coach. I think he will be a great coach, but right now, I think he's a very good coach. And while I think he's too low on the list, I think there's some people above him that shouldn't be on it. I don't fully disagree with him being behind a good number of the people that he's behind.
Understandable. What if I were to tell you that he is currently 20-6 against AP top 25 teams? Those 20 top 25 wins are the second most of any active head coach. And remember, he hasn't been a head coach in college football for that long at AP ranked places. 20-6, That is a 77% winning percentage. 77% winning percentage. We just talked about Lane Kiffin at number 7. Lane Kiffin is 13-24 or 25, depending on which one you use. I don't know. I've seen both. He's 13-24 or 25. Well, DeBoer's 20-6. And a bunch of those wins, by the way, came at Washington. A couple of those wins came at Fresno. The losses, you can almost count them on one hand. Indiana last year, Georgia last year, Oklahoma last year, correct? Then you look at the national championship game against Michigan, one at Fresno, or two at Fresno. That's it. You can literally count his losses against AP Top 25 teams. You know how hard that is to do?
Tennessee a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah, Tennessee, that was the one. So maybe just one at Fresno and Tennessee a couple years ago. That's right. So you got 6. We can count them. Literally count them. Lane Kiffin went 14 years without a power conference ranked win. DeBoer had multiple last year and ended some significant winning streaks in the process. I mean, the guy, those that love him, I don't know how many people love him, but those that support him will find every reason, and they're so easy to find, why he's an elite coach. Those that dislike him will cherry pick the performances that were less than stellar, understandably, but there were also less than stellar performances at times under Nick Saban. They're all forgotten. And guess what? And this is not comparing Kalen DeBoer to Nick Saban. It's really not. How often did Nick Saban go onto the field with a less talented roster? In
very few.
I don't know, the last 16 years of his tenure.
Very few.
You can count on one hand, I would imagine.
I honestly can name 2.
After 2008.
I can name 2. That was Georgia in the SEC championship game in 2021, Georgia in the national championship game in 2021. I thought that roster was better. I did. I think you can make a case that Georgia in 2022 was better as well. Nick Saban won that game. But there were very few situations in which his roster was not superior. I can name on a bunch of different examples, I think, over the last couple of years, where Bama's roster was not the superior roster. Sounds crazy. The recruiting services will tell you differently. Look at the draft picks. Look at the quantity of draft picks. Look at when guys are getting drafted and the amount of guys that are playing pivotal roles in the game that weren't drafted. The NFL don't care. They draft on talent, and they draft on potential. Well, Kalen DeBoer had to win a lot of games last year with a roster that was not outrageously talented, believe it or not. Some great players, some guys that we will always love. Ty Simpson, I will always love him. Jeremy Bernard, I will always love him. But across the board, it's not like that group was anywhere near what we saw from the Crimson Tide in, say, 2016, 2015, 2017, what have you. It's a very different era. And it's going to continue to evolve here in the years to come. Patience. Patience. Remember, 46 guys out of the portal when Nick Saban retired. 46. They've had to put this thing together with shoestrings and bottle caps and a bunch of duct tape. But I do think they're trending in the right direction. We'll see what happens this year, where their win total is just 8.5. So, to recap everything, you have number 1, Kurt Cignetti, number 2, Kirby Smart, number 3, Ryan Day, number 4, Marcus Freeman, number 5, Dan Lanning, number 6, Steve Sarkisian, number 7, Lane Kiffin, number 8, Mike Elko, number 9, Kyle Whittingham, number 10, Mario Cristobal, and number 10B, Kalen DeBoer. All right, when we come back, have a funny little flag football story to tell you about next on Mac and Cube.
Don't leave Jocks back at the house. Download the Jocks 94.5 app and take us anywhere, in the car, at work, or at the game. Live audio, video, and podcasts on your schedule. The Jocks 94.5 app, wherever you may be.
9:28 here where I'm at. It is 8:28 back in Birmingham. Hope everyone's Friday is off to a terrific start. We spent most of the first half of the show just talking about this ranking, and honestly, like I think rankings are fun. I do. I really like them. I have no issue with anyone that wants to put a ranking together. I would disagree in some cases, but it's respectful disagreements. It's not. It's civil disagreement, which by the way is like it's hard to have that nowadays. Like heaven forbid we just agree to disagree. Like you believe one thing, I believe another, and like it's all good. Like we're on the same page. Like civil disagreement's wonderful. And it should be supported and should continue to be supported. And I personally disagree with how Kalen DeBoer is perceived. I think it's unbelievable how many people want to play the game of low-hanging fruit because they are continuously told, well, oh, the pressure cooker, the pressure cooker, the pressure cooker. Yes, there's pressure at Alabama. Absolutely. There's absolutely pressure. And I'll tell you this. I wouldn't want anybody else running my program right now. I think he's the right man for the job. There's a lot of great coaches out there, a lot of great coaches. But I'm a believer in what he is doing right now. And I think single-handedly, without Kalen DeBoer, they're not where they were last year. No shot. That guy won games on his own, just with acumen and game management from the sideline as a head coach. Really believe that. If you're looking for leadership, you can find it at Crocker Moving Services. They're a local company owned by an Iraq War veteran, Eric Crocker. Crocker believes in hiring movers you can trust to complete full background checks and run drug tests on every single employee. These are good guys. And you can trust them in your home. Whether your whole home packed up and move, your company headquarters moved across the country, or you just want them to come rearrange your living room, they got you covered. They also do deliveries for furniture that you've purchased and need to get to your home. So call or visit them online today for a free quote. The website's CrockerMovingServices.com. That's CrockerMovingServices.com. Support your veterans by choosing Crocker Moving Services for your next move. I do think personality factors into some of these rankings too. I don't know if y'all see it that way. Like, Dan Lanning's got a really great personality, awesome in the media, fiery, impassioned pregame speeches that go viral. Like all this stuff is really good. Like I think that the way you market yourself is really beneficial with how you're perceived. Doesn't make it bad, doesn't make it wrong. Smart, frankly, in many ways. I think Kalen DeBoer is more subdued. Like he's more of a steady Eddie type of guy. Not going to have the volatility from a personality standpoint. I think that's why his teams play so well in big games. Because the team's steady Eddie. They feel good. They're comfortable. They're laid back. They're relaxed. That's why they play well. And that's why occasionally they get got against teams that they shouldn't get got by. Because I think they're just so steady, even keeled, that sometimes it can have a negative reaction too, and that's something worth assessing here in the future. Damien, I would imagine we have a couple reactions on the Twitter line and or the text line at 205-834-9450.
Yeah, Tim from Coleman, he asked the question, how in the world can Elko be ahead of Kalen DeBoer? Based on accomplishments, it's not even close. And Elko has double the resources to do it with. Somebody else texts in and says Kalen DeBoer.
Well, hang on. I totally agree with him. Like Elko, Whittingham. Like, how is Whittingham ahead of Kalen DeBoer?
I have no
idea.
idea.
How is that possible? I mean, like, they played in the same conference at one point. Like, how is that possible? How's Lane Kiffin? Like, Lane Kiffin's never won a conference championship at a major conference. Like, I don't understand how that's possible. Like, I mean, I love Steve Sarkisian. I think he's phenomenal. He's never beaten Kalen DeBoer.
Nope.
And had a better roster, not once but twice. Like, Kalen DeBoer's beaten him, I believe, 2 times. Maybe 3. It's been a bunch. Dan Lanning has lost to Kalen DeBoer 3 times. 3 times. Twice with a more superior roster and was favored in the game. Like I don't understand how it's possible. So, look, marketing, branding, I understand all that, but man, alive, I'm just amazed by it. Go on.
Somebody else takes in and says Kalen DeBoer should never get ranked behind Lanning, Sark, or Kiffin because head-to-head against Lanning and Sark, he has coached in the national championship game and has taken 2 different teams to the playoffs, and Kiffin has done none of these.
Kiffin did take a team to the playoffs. I will give him credit for that. You cannot push back. He did take them there, did not coach them in it. Did a great job with the Ole Miss roster last year. A great job. Found Trinidad Chambliss. Did a lot of amazing things. Gets a ton of credit from me. I can't have him in front of Kalen DeBoer. I just can't. Go on.
Somebody says, I hate these segments because it turns into a Saban versus DeBoer, and the only way to prop up DeBoer is to bring Saban down to his level. Nobody.
It's not at all.
Nobody has done that.
Saban's in his own category.
Yeah.
Saban is in his own stratosphere. Like, all right, go ahead. You want to compare Bear and Saban? Go for it. That's the only appropriate. That's the only appropriate comparison. Like, what are we doing? Like, then no one's comparing. It's just acknowledging the facts. The facts are that the roster at the end of Coach Saban's tenure was not as good as it was at the beginning. It's just the facts. It doesn't make it they're in the middle or even as high as 2020. I mean, the roster wasn't quite as good. I mean, it's reflected in the draft picks. It's the truth. It doesn't make it. It's nothing negative about Coach Saban. He's the GOAT. He's the absolute GOAT. So there's no tearing Coach Saban down. It's just acknowledging that when he left, it was a very difficult situation. Not because the pressure that comes with being the head coach at Alabama, but because of the amount of guys that left, and frankly, the state of the roster when Coach Saban retired to begin with. Honestly, I don't know. Like, if Coach Saban thought they could win a national championship in 24, do you think he would have retired? I don't think so. I think he probably would have tried to run it back. Like, I don't know for sure, just knowing how competitive people work. Like, it's not like Bruce Pearl retired the year before Auburn made a Final Four run.
Right.
He retired the year after Auburn didn't make the tournament. Am I taking crazy pills here?
No.
Like competitive people, if they believe they can really do it, they can really win, they're probably going to stick around for a little longer. At least I would. I think that's human nature. All right, go ahead.
And kind of to your point too, when you like think, and especially hindsight's always 20/20, but think about when Nick Saban retired and the names of coaches that people were wanting to be at Alabama. Like we say, people were talking about, bring Lane Kiffin back, when Lane Kiffin has accomplished absolutely nothing on his resume to say that he should be the next Alabama head coach. When you look at the resume with Dan Lanning, and he hasn't beaten Kalen DeBoer, who's the head coach now. You had Steve Sarkisian, and a lot of like you said, he had better rosters and fallen short a couple times. And really and truly now is an approve it year. Mike Norvell's name was mentioned, and that has been a dumpster fire now since the past couple seasons at Florida State. Yeah, you got the head-to-head win over Kalen DeBoer in Alabama, but when you look at everything that happened since that moment, it's, boy, that 1 year they got snubbed from the playoffs completely threw everything as far as Mike Norvell is concerned. But to me, you can say, like you said, you can talk about the losses that Kalen DeBoer has had. It's because he's at Alabama. It's a different mindset. It's a different thing because of who he was replacing. But people tend to forget, like, it wasn't sunshine and rainbows the first day Nick Saban got to Alabama. Like, it takes time. And if you're telling me in year two, you can take, in spite of all the things that you had going against you with, you figuring out quickly the offensive line just ain't what it used to be. We're not going to be able to run the football at the level we need to have true success. But still to go on the road and beat Georgia, who ends up making the college football playoffs. You beat them in the SEC championship. You go on the road and do that. You lose to Oklahoma. Yeah, and it sucked in the regular season. It was ugly. Wasn't your complete ball game. But to go to the SEC championship and go to the college football playoff, go get revenge on a team that beat you in the regular season, and you lose to the best team in college football. Like, fair or unfair, I've pushed back on all the Kalen DeBoer criticism because I think that he has done a phenomenal job. Yes, the losses are warranted, but the wins that he has are impressive. They're impressive and they're hard to get, especially jumping into the situation that he was put in, replacing Nick Saban. Like, it didn't even matter who was going to be it. And I think that the fact that Kalen DeBoer in year two has taken Alabama to a college football playoff, won a playoff game on the road, in spite of, again, everybody's talking, he can't do it with a first-year starting quarterback. Well, really and truly, Ty Simpson was a first-year starting quarterback as well. He played spot minutes, had to come in against USF a couple years ago and win that ball game. Right.
That was your favorite game ever.
like won the football game, and then now you're going into this season. One, I think he's addressed everything he needs to on the offensive line. We got to see it to believe it. I think the run game, you got a bevy of running backs who are capable that may not be the Derrick Henrys or the Mark Ingrams of the world, but they're quality running backs. I think the receiver room has developed into what it could be if Ryan Williams goes back to, what he was as a freshman, and you got the development of Latsier Brooks, you got Sadarian Morgan, you got Rico Scott. Like, you have playmakers. And then you look on the defensive side with all the veterans that he has returning in key spots. Like, I know, again, I understand that it's basically national championship or bust, but I mean, damn, what more can this brother do to say that, like, he's trending in the right direction? And obviously from with him getting this contract extension over the offseason as well, he's doing what he needs to do for Alabama to have success. We had this conversation with Roddy Nabulsi about Georgia. There may not be dominating, but he's still winning football games. And talking about Kirby Smart, it may not look pretty, but Georgia fans accept that, hey, we winning ball games. I don't care how it looks, we're winning it. But it feels as though it's not enough for Alabama because they're not going out there and having joyless murder ball, but they're still winning big time matchups.
Well, we know this for a second, right? Like, Kirby Smart, universally beloved as a coach and a program builder. Like, who doesn't? The guy's awesome, right? I mean, he's just a fantastic coach. Like, if you push back on that, I can't help you. Like, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. He went 8-5 his first year.
Yep.
At Georgia, 8-5. Like, and by the way, it's not like he inherited a dumpster fire. Like Georgia was a pretty good program, a pretty good, solid program, very, very good. Goes to the national championship the second year, did an amazing job that year, amazing. Loses that game, had Bama on the ropes. Third year, they go 11-3. Like, it's not like Kirby Smart walked in, waved the magic wand, and then immediately, boom, day one, they start rolling. Like, it took a couple years to instill it, a year to really learn through some growing pains. And the second year, they took a huge step. Third year, step back. Y'all remember this, Kirby Smart in the SEC championship game when Jalen Hurts came off the bench. Remember, he called the fake punt with Justin Fields, and it was like crushed. And remember, everybody was killing Kirby Smart in 2020 or 2019. Couldn't find a quarterback. Didn't have the quarterback. Didn't have the weapons. Wouldn't evolve. Too conservative offensively. Like, everyone killed Kirby Smart. Like, where he was those first 4 years. No one wants to remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everyone was wondering, oh man, I don't know. Kirby Smart can't beat Nick Saban. Like, can't do this. Like, everyone was criticizing Kirby Smart. Everyone. No one wants to remember that. That wasn't that long ago, by the way. I always said, man, Kirby Smart's really good, guys. Like, just trust the process. He's going to figure it out. They're going to eventually get to the point where they start winning at the highest clip possible. And sure enough, they did in 2021, win the national championship. 2022, back it up with an amazing season again. And now he's universally considered one of the top 2 coaches in America, rightfully so. So why is Kalen DeBoer? It's kind of being treated the exact same way as Kirby Smart. We don't want to remember that. We don't want to remember that. It's not fun to think about that or remember it like that because it's fun to be critical. It's fun to rip apart. It's fun to tear down. Well, some of the same criticisms that Kalen DeBoer had are awfully similar to a guy that's won a couple titles over there in Athens. Just saying. Well, can't do this, can't do that. Won't evolve offensively. Too conservative. This, that, the other. All he cares about defense. Who cares? Can't find a quarterback. Can't do this. Well, here's the Kalen DeBoer thing. Oh, can't run the ball. Offensive line development. Not recruiting well enough. Not this. Not like. All right. But you gave it time there in Athens, and you come out the other side with a program that's stable, with a program that's consistently winning, with a roster that's well developed, with a lot of things going your way to give you a chance every year. But there was a 5-year period where it wasn't crazy consistent. Remember the time when JT Daniels was Georgia's savior? JT Daniels was Georgia's savior. Remember that?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I forgot about
Life
that
comes
day.
at you fast. Things adjust. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5 years, 5 or 6 years, believe it or not, to break through and to adjust. Kalen's going to year number 3. I feel very confident, still to this day, that Kalen DeBoer will win a national championship at Alabama. And when he does, I cannot wait to see the reaction for how much things change from a perception standpoint with how he's received and how he's viewed in the court of public opinion. I'm still a believer in that. I really, really, really believe that will happen at some point, probably in the near future. I don't know if it'll be this year, but I tell you what, I wouldn't doubt it if in 28, if in 27, they make a real run with this young crop that they have coming up this year. And by the way, a roster that currently has just 9 seniors on the roster. Just saying, if you are going to sell the stock, give it to me. I will be glad to take it, only to talk about this 2 years from now in doing a victory lap and a bunch of cartwheels for being right and believing that this was going to take a little time, but eventually going to get where we all want it to go. All right, when we come back, I told you and teased what we were talking about as far as flag football. My son had his first game yesterday. I have to tell you about this. It is hilarious. I'll tell you next on Mac and Q.
Keys? Check. Seatbelt? Check. Jocks 94.5 on your preset? Locked in. Your ride's not ready till Jocks is on. Jocks 94.5, your daily drive done right. Turn it on, lock it in.
Welcome back. McElroy Cubelic in the morning on Jocks 94.5. We have kids' activities are making it very difficult to schedule your dental appointments. Well, I have good news for you. Family Care Dental is there for you. We have tons of kids' activities right now, including flag football, which I'm going to tell you about in a moment. Family Care Dental will get you in the same day. They can see you on Fridays and Saturdays. They have urgent care appointments. They have routine checkups. Those routine checkups come with free teeth whitening, and they have several locations to make it easy on you: Hoover, Fulton, Homewood, Alabaster, and Trustful. They can get you in the same day, and they can get you taken care of. Patients of all ages are accepted, and most insurance plans are accepted. So call Family Care Dental today for an appointment, 874-9605. That's 874-9605. All right, my son played his first ever football game last night.
Let's go.
Dude, I thought I was making it very simple. And by the way, like, the kids are just the most adorable thing of all time on both sides. Like, that team, and we played the neon green team, we're the red team, like, just, they're adorable. Like, all they want's a jersey. I had one kid that's like, my brother told me to untuck my shirt and put it over the flags so they can't grab the flags. I'm like, oh my gosh, we are already trying to
finesse the system.
Like, if you ain't cheating,
buddy,
you ain't
please
trying.
Tuck your shirt in. Like, come on, this is hard. These kids are having a hard enough time trying to pull a flag, and you're trying to make it harder on them. It was genius play. I never thought about it, but either way, I digress. We have one kid who is clearly the youngest of 3. We probably faced 25 offensive plays as a defense last night. He might have made 18 tackles.
Let's go.
I've never seen anything like it. It was like Lawrence Taylor. It was like Roquan Smith. It was unbelievable. But the thing that blew me away last night, very simple concepts. I didn't have any play cards. I was drawing it up on a chalkboard like as we're going through it. All right, you run this, you run this. The things we take for granted when talking to kids about football is hilarious. If I were to tell you, Damian, hey, you're going to go stand out there and you're going to run this route, break inside. I mean, the kids looked at me as if I had 7 heads. I mean, all right, hey, we're going to play man, so I want you to go out there and you point to the guy that you're going to cover. The amount of guys left wide open yesterday because a kid found a nice, found a nice daisy in the field was unbelievable. Hey guys, you cannot. It's 4th down and 20. Don't let them behind you. What do our kids do? Rush the quarterback immediately from like 20 yards deep. The quarterback had 9 seconds to throw the ball. I'm like, don't let him behind you. Dude, I guess I've just never thought about it. I mean, I've coached basketball. I've coached baseball. This is my first iteration of coaching flag football. I've never thought about, to a child, how complex football is. Uh-huh. It is outrageously complex.
Yeah.
Like, just simplicities of snapping the ball from the center to the quarterback, not even between the legs. I said, we can just toss it to him. You would have thought I told him to punt it 60 yards when they had to toss it 4 yards underhand to their guy. Like, wait till y'all get to this point when you're coaching flag football. It is incredible how hilarious it is and how much you take for granted what the kids might already know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling them to hand off the ball. I said, all right, big pocket. Give me the big belly. Big belly.
And I can only imagine.
These kids interpreted a big pocket as like their pocket on their shorts. One of the kids says, "I don't have a pocket."
Yeah, it's the only pockets they know, right?
Well, hang on, no, on like your belly, like give me a big pocket. And he's like reaching in his pockets, like mine aren't very big. Like, dude, no, like
kids are so little.
No, it was so funny, dude. It was unbelievable. Like I'm like, all right, here, you're gonna line up right here. This is called the slot. He goes, slot? I'm like, yeah, right here. Like, see on the board right here. He's like, what side? I'm like, right there.
Oh, boy.
Go right there. Go right there. Get in the way. Just stand in the way. We're handing it off. Handing it off to who? What? What do you mean handing it off? It's like, no. Like, we're gonna take the ball. We're gonna catch the. We're gonna take the ball. The center's gonna snap it to every play. This is it. All right, the center is going to snap it to the quarterback. You tell him like step by step. Center's gonna snap it to the quarterback. The quarterback's going to turn. He's going to give the ball to the running back. Wait, I mean, like he's just going to hand it to him? Like he's just going to give him the ball? Like, yeah, just going to give him the ball. He goes, but why? Because we're trying to run the ball. I'm like, well, why aren't we throwing it? I was like, what? And then as the game went on, they're like, I want to go deep. Because they started to learn the vernacular. By the end of the season, I'm going to have these kids speaking like next level college football language. I can't wait. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. Dude, yeah. It was hilarious. I'll give you one more quick story on the other side. I'll take a quick break here on Mac and Q.
Jocks 94.5 is live on YouTube every weekday, plus video shorts and podcasts. Find us at Jocks 94.5 and smash the subscribe and like button so you never miss a moment. Jocks 94.5 on YouTube.
A little more flag football commentary here. Coached my son's first flag football game last night, dude, and it was just the most fun I've ever had on the field. Like, the kids are hilarious. I ran Damien, so whip route, right? Just a little quick slant, break it back out.
Yeah.
Like, no problem. Like, first of all, I tell them slant. I mean, you would think like they looked at me as if.
Want me to leave?
And by the way, we ran pat and go, and I was like, all right, this is a slant, and like we all ran it, and then in the game it was like, huh? Like, so now I understand what coaches go through when they're like taking it from the classroom to the field. It's a different animal. You know what I'm saying? So we had run slants over and over and over again. So I'm like, all right, here's what we're going to do. Van, you're going to be a quarterback. We're going to roll you out to our right. We're going to run what we call a whip route. So Baker, you get out here, you're going to run this whip route. Baker ran the most perfect whip route I've ever seen.
Let's
go. It was
go.
Amazing. The thing that was hilarious about it is he had to have taken 11 steps on the slant before he broke it out. Dude, he was across the center before he broke it out. I mean, he was open by 15 yards. Like, it was the greatest route ever. And if we could ever have an offensive line that would hold up for 11 seconds, that's the route I'm running. Oh yeah. Oh, he sold it now. I mean, he had the hips flipped and everything, man. It was epic. The amount of things they just take so literally is amazing. I mean, just so literal. So good and so much fun. So wait till they start reading safeties. Football.
What's the shell look like?
Well, yeah, we gotta start tilting safeties. Well, let's not get carried away. We're gonna play man, and we're gonna just figure it out from there. Maybe the occasional picket fence, but either way, man, I got a kick out of it last night, and we will have more fun flag football stories over the next few weeks because I love my team. They're such good kids. But yeah, the learning curve is real when it comes to football. All right, we'll have plenty more in the final hour of Mac and Cube next.
This is McElroy and Cubelic in the morning.
You didn't start a business just to keep the lights on. You're here to sell more today than yesterday. You're here to win. Lucky for you, Shopify built the best converting checkout on the planet. Like the just one tapping, ridiculously fast acting, sky-high sales stacking, champion of checkouts. That's the good stuff right there. So if your business is in it to win it, win with Shopify. Start your free trial today at shopify.com/win.
Jim Rome takes on sports.
Part of what makes this show is the show within the show. The biggest topic on the show always seems to be the show itself. This is a way to give you clones a way to interact with one another. Yes, we will be going through the chat. Yes, it'll be a part of the program. The only thing that could ruin the show are the old school clones spitting up the same bull crap that they always have. The jungle is out taking names and ready to dominate. Let's get it.
The Jim Rome Show podcast. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Hey, I'm Chris Van Vliet. Go behind the scenes and beyond the headlines with the biggest names in pro wrestling and beyond.
Jeff Jarrett, great to see you.
In this business, the story behind the scenes, so much more entertaining than what you see on camera.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman.
Mr. Heyman, you are a master at the little things. That's how you turn good into great.
What does it take to achieve greatness? Whatever it takes, I'm willing to do.
That's an Emmy-winning performance.
How about it?
Insight with Chris Van Vliet. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Jim Rome takes on sports.
I will always have a complicated relationship with this game, but people evolve. So do sports. Do not make me regret this. Do not make me devolve back to that guy that so many clones wish that I still was. And do not embarrass the entire country. Now, I can go back. I can get there fast. Lose tonight, and you got a real problem. Do not blow it.
The Jim Rome Show podcast.
You've been warned.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.